The curry leaf, it's definitely known as a very aromatic plant and sometimes the most important plant in any Indian or Asian's garden.
All right, so we have Aarav with us today, so he's going to give all these informations regarding the curry plant. So before I ask you anything, so what is the experience in horticulture and this managing this beautiful nursery? So how do you get along with it?
So basically, it started all with my grandmother. She came to Australia from India, and she from India ever since my father was small. When she was raising them up, everyone had a love for plants, and she would spend 14, 15 hours a day in the garden, just talking to them, playing music, because they're also living things, and seeing them grow, nurturing them, it's like taking care of a baby, she would say. So she taught me lots of things about plants, and that's really how this journey has started here.
Tell me, Aarav, what are the key characteristics of the curry plant, and tell me more about the growing conditions.
Sure. So in terms of key characteristics, the curry leaf, it's definitely known as a very aromatic plant and sometimes the most important plant in any Indian or Asian's garden. They come with plenty of health benefits, which we'll be discussing about later. In terms of growing condition and care, curry leaves require around 6 to 8 hours of sunlight daily. Somewhere in the northeast or northwest corner of your house is definitely the most ideal. It can also thrive in 4 hours of sunlight as well. In terms of watering, it completely depends on the season. For example, in winter, you require to water a bit less, around once a week. Towards spring, once it gets hotter, you can water around twice or thrice a week. And in summer, you can water it every day.
Yeah, because it's very hot around.
Very hot here. In terms of fertilization, whenever you buy any plant from a nursery, you wait 1 month for fertilization. On the first Saturday of a month, you use an NPK fertilizer, something that has nitrogen, potassium, phosphate, lots of high elements in it, which helps the overall plant to grow. The second Saturday of the month, you use organic manure, for example, dynamic lifter, chicken, cow manure, something like that, which will definitely grow in terms of foliage, leaves and everything. Okay. On the third Saturday of the month, you want the foliage to look nice, lush, green, very aromatic as well. So you use Epsom salt. This generates chlorophyll. You can dilute it in water, spray it on the leaves, and you'll see straight away that the leaves, they look much more lush green. They carry much more aroma as well. And finally, on the last Saturday of the month, you have to target the roots, make them more nourished, so that following that, they'll grow much faster. So again, use sea salt or power feed, organic liquid fertilizer one more time, and this will definitely prove lots of results, and you'll see a very big, lush, green, aromatic curry leaf plant in your backyard.
Wow, that's very helpful. That's very helpful. All right, so anyone who comes to the Sai nursery, so when they buy a plant from you, so what are the steps to get it for them for replanting and pruning and harvesting?
Sure. So normally whenever you repot or plant the curry leaf tree, it depends how big you want it to grow. When you plant it in the ground, you give it unlimited space. However, if you live in a cold area, it's important that you make some river sand in the soil so that you create well-drained soil. Whenever we hear people talking about plants, we always hear that they want well-drained soil. So it's important that the soil doesn't clog up. In terms of in terms of taking it out, you can just heat up a knife. You can either cut it up, or it's easy to just tap the pot around and take it out as a whole. It's important that you don't affect the roots of the plant or disturb them. So you use an organic liquid fertilizer like we've talked about, and this will help the roots to settle and so that a transplant shock doesn't occur. In terms of pruning, whenever you see the top branch coming out, you simply cut it in a 45-degree angle. This is so that when you water it, when water comes on, it doesn't go into the stem and affect it, but also that it creates two branches. So whenever you look around our nursery, you see that our plants don't grow very tall. We try to keep them short and make them more bushier. This also brings more
Like a big body will
more
push it,
width. Exactly. So when you cut it like that, you give it more space, it grows much faster. And also when you see small buds appearing at the top of the plant, it's important that you cut it. Flowers can also you also see it, but that's actually not good for the plant. It sucks out all the nutrients, the energy, and it thinks that it's come to an end and it can't grow much more. So you cut those out and you see it continue to grow. Yeah. In terms of harvesting, of course, it's important that you don't again disturb the plant. So just breaking a twig from the bottom is much more ideal, and just be very careful. These you can use in your curries, vegetables, soups, everything, as we said, and they carry a fantastic aroma. Yeah, I can't express it enough.
What if a person who really wants to do it in house? So like, in the place where I live, actually, it's very cold. So I really don't want to plant my these curry leaves outside, because I know that's gonna die for sure because it's very cold out there. So if I want to do it inside of my house, so what are the steps that I should follow?
Normally, you can also always plant the curry leaf inside a house, but it's important it needs partial sunlight. Actually, it's much better when it has partial sunlight, because when a young plant is there, it gets burnt with direct sunlight. So you can just plant it in a bigger pot, give it a bit more room, and it will still the same thing. It will definitely grow lots.
So pretty much double the size of the pot. So I will transfer it and let it grow, and when it's grow halfway through again, I transfer it back to another one.
Once you see the roots, they're coming out, and you can see that it's growing, it's not growing as much, then you can definitely. And also it's at night, you can even if you take it outside at night, you can cover it up with a plastic bag so that frost doesn't attract it, of course. Normally you can definitely always grow the curry leaf plant in cold conditions, but there's only 3 steps you have to follow. Firstly, as I said before, in the soil you mix 1/3 river sand. This helps the soil to continue to drain, and the soil sits on the top. So you need drainage holes at the bottom of the pot, and even in a 40 centimeter pot, the curry leaf plant can grow for 4 years.
Wow.
Yeah, definitely. So and the second step is thermocol box, or foam boxes, also known as polystyrene. You break those up into pieces, and once you repot it, you just put a few for 1 centimeter at the very bottom. So whenever you water a plant, even though it's cold, the water will continue to go through that river sand and that thermocol, instead of just sitting there and clogging up, which then causes frost to come in. Exactly. So by using these antidotes, then the soil becomes so much more well drained, and that's basically the foundation of the entire plant, the soil, what's under it, the roots. So that helps the overall plant to grow. And the third step is you can buy pillar thermal cloths from Bunnings. That's around 10 meters, so that you cut it up and you cover the plant up with that, and that can help withstand extreme heat or extreme cold in all conditions.
Alright, that is really helpful. Honestly, that's gonna really helpful for me for sure. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna follow all the steps what he said. Alright, Aarav, tell me more about the propagation. So if anybody wants to do that, so what are the steps that they actually want to go ahead with?
Sure. Normally propagation happens towards the end of growing the curry leaf plant, when you can share it with all your friends. So normally there's 3 different ways you can propagate. The first way is that, as I talked about, the buds at the top of the plant, you can cut them off, and the seeds inside them you can use for propagation. You grow them in a small container, plastic container, and this normally has a drawback, and it takes lots of time, but it grows in a controlled environment inside. The second way to propagate is through cuttings. This is a much better way. Normally you get a big plant, a curry leaf plant, a big one. You get a branch of that and you dip it in some rooting hormone. If you don't want to use rooting hormone, you can use honey and cinnamon, a mixture of this. By simply dipping this, you wait around for a while, and then it gradually grows roots. Once it does so, you can plant it in a pot or in the ground.
Okay.
Yeah. And finally, the last way is through air layering. Normally, air layering is the best way to do this. You get this the trunk of the tree, so like the branch. You scratch it with your nail, and you see the inside,
Yep.
the green part inside, right? So you apply cocoa peat to that, the soiled cocoa peat. So you tighten it up. You can also use aloe vera or banana peels,
just to hold the moisture.
Yeah, exactly. So this also helps roots to grow with aloe vera and banana peels. Yeah, you apply rooting hormone there as well, and you make it airtight. So you wait for 6 months for the roots to grow out of that air layering process. Yeah.
But you think you prefer that's the best way to do the propagate the plant, and that's the confidently you get the best root out of it, yeah?
It will, and it's also less time consuming.
All right.
Yeah, so that's definitely.
Yeah. All right, Aarav. That was a lot of information, and I love about it. And honestly, I learned a lot of things from you today. So tell me, if there are any advice that you can give it to the people who wants to do their own horticulture and wants to get into this industry, not industrially maybe, but whoever likes to do it on their own garden. So is there any advice that you can give to them?
Sure, definitely. So normally there's 3 ways to go again for this. Firstly, it's very, very important that you never lose hope. When you plant a plant or when you grow your own trees, it's like caring for a baby. Like even one night, if we can't withstand the winter cold, how can the plants? They're all living things. So we always have to look out for them, look at the weather conditions, take care of them. It's important that we always stay confident. When you stay confident, you see your own plant growing, you see it nurturing, and that's another very important thing. Secondly is with staying confident. It's very, very important that you're always confident. You should never panic. When you see that the plant is starting to die, you never have to panic. You have to take your time, see what's definitely going through a plant, and if you antidote this, if you help this, then you have to stay confident and it will definitely come back. And finally, it's important that you always stay patient. You can never lose your patience. It takes lots of time for the plants to grow. So if you have some patience, like Sai Baba, Sai Nursery, how it all started, he gave us teachings like Shraddha, Sabori, which means having patience. So throughout this gardening journey, you'll definitely learn lots, but it's important you follow these 3 qualities and your life will definitely change like it did to ours.
Wow. Well, that's a very good thought, and that was a very good advice. Be patient, where mostly people don't have nowadays. But, trust me, if you have patience, we can care about anything. All right, Aarav. I think it was a great day for me, so I have learned a lot of new stuff not only about the plant, things I have never been knew before. So tell me more about your place right now, so that anybody who wants to drop in and grab your plant. So tell me more about it.
Definitely. So here at Sai Nursery, we have a very, very wide range of a variety of plants. We start with lots of exotic plants. There's citrus, there's herbs, vegetables, some of them like very popular Indian herbs, vegetables, fruits we get that sometimes we don't get here in Australia. Sure, we can have a look around if you wish to.
After you.
Just behind you, we'll start. There's the Indian. This is the Indian white guava, the one we eat at home. It has a very, very sweet taste. We've had lots of advice and reviews coming in from customers saying how wonderful the fruit was. There's papaya, a very nice sweet papaya. There's jackfruits, rose apple, pomegranate, chiku, the sapodilla chiku. We make juice out of that.
Yeah.
Then there's blueberries, there's star gooseberry, similar to amla. There's hog plum, grapes. There's lots of citrus varieties as well, such as mandarin, orange, lemon, lime, pomelo, calamansi, some Filipino fruits in there. There's lychees as well. As you can tell, there's a very, very wide range already. If we continue, there's lots of flowering options as well. For example, the popular bougainvillea in our country here. There's hibiscuses, which are very hardy, and they show lots of different colors. There's roses, some standard roses, small paneer roses as well. There's star jasmine. We have lots of Sri Lankan flowers as well, such as Nitya Kalyani, Nandyavat. There's yellow champaka, sonsafa we call it. That is a very nostalgic smell as well. Then there's Rakhi Rani, also known as Hasnahina. That one, the smell of it travels 400 feet. So that's a very popular flowering plant as well.
Well, actually, this is not even half of the plants that you mentioned, but it's still like a long way to go. But how do you guys actually looking after? I mean, it's a big job to do everything every day, right?
Sure, definitely. So as I said, my grandmother, she would spend day and night nurturing all these plants, looking at watering, seeing every single plant, what's going on, and when she would wake up the next morning, it's right back here. So having that passion, the passion she has for these plants and what she's carried on through this legacy, through my father, through me, it's definitely motivated us to continue this, and we've learned so much and we've seen it all in plants.
All right, we'll go ahead and
Sure,
please introduce us more about these things.
If we continue with the flowering, there's mandevilla, hydrangeas, and some exotic. One of the most exotic fruiting plants we have is custard apple, the sitafur we call it. This we have, sorry. This we have called Paxton prolific, which is a very superior variety. Then there's also persimmon, which is another very exotic fruiting plant. If we continue to some more popular ones, like we have around 3-4 varieties of mangoes. There's Allison Red, which is a dwarf mango. There's a very, very popular Hapus, the Alfonso mango, the one we get in India. There's also Carabao mango. This was featured in the Guinness Book World of Records for how sweet it was. There's also Kensington Pride, the Bambaroo mango, and this is all the most superior variety. So whatever we keep here, they're all #1 quality. Like, you can never go wrong with the quality. There's R2E2, Mahachino King High, that's a semi-dwarf one. So all these different varieties, we never, like, whatever you ask for, it's always going to be here. We never underestimate, like, never. So even if we don't have it, we'll write your name down and we'll definitely try our hardest to get it for you. If we continue upstairs,
Go.
the popular people tree just behind you, the Bodhi, here, this one here. Yeah, that's a people Bodhi tree. Then we have cherries as well. That's just here is an apple. It is 3-way graft, so it has a pink lady, a red delicious, and a gala. So that's a 3-way graft. That's also very popular. If we continue just here, you can have a look at all our customers.
What are these?
So this is just around 1-2% of all the people that have come here. We've had the deputy mayor of Cumberland, our council, come here. Lots of different, and we've made relationships with every single one of them, and lifelong relationships as well. Some people that we'll never forget. We've created some unforgettable memories, and that's what gardening has really brought us.
Not just gardening, it's about spreading love and making it
Throughout the community.
Yeah,
definitely.
through the community.
There's okra, also known as bhendi, the lady finger. There's gongura, rosella, the tindora, dondakaya, kovakai, which we use in our vegetables with curry leaf. There's winged beans, karela. There's rich gourd, the Indian hot chili that reminds lots of us of our culture. There's rich gourd, there's snake gourd, there's white eggplant, purple eggplant, there's long melon, also known as Loki. If we continue, there's Lebanese cucumbers, snake beans. If we look at the herbs we have here, there's gotukola, brahmi. Brahmi is very helpful for your memory. There's ashwagandha, betel leaf. By actually using these in your smoothies, as well as the curry leaf, we have so many other beneficial herbs, like Ayurvedic herbs that have been proven to be very beneficial for the human body. There's mint, as I mentioned before. There's lots of flowering plants, as I showed you. There's aloe vera, lemongrass. So overall, whenever anyone takes a plant from us, we are not just there to sell, but we're there through the journey of everyone's gardening process. So we send them caring instructions. Whenever you have a question for us, you can simply just send us a message. We have our own YouTube channels as well that shows lots of new stock that we always get. We have a Facebook page as well. Please do check that out as well. And also on Google, you can find us there as well. We've actually been featured in Cumberland Local Business Awards as a finalist there. So that's one of our massive achievements. So we've been a finalist there. Thank you so much for coming to us today.
Thank you for sharing the knowledge with us, and I'm really sure that all the subscribers and all the people who's gonna watch this video will gonna have like a knowledge, and the level of the knowledge will be next. We'll go to the next level, because honestly, a lot of things I learned it today. I hope you guys gonna learn it today too. So if you did like it, I can't say if you did like it for sure. I think you do like this video, and please subscribe and hit the bell icon for more. And I'm gonna thank you to Aarav for this sharing his knowledge with me.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thanks, Aarav.
Thank you.
Thank you.